Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the sixth webinar this morning. I'm losing count, so it might be the fifth or the sixth webinar this morning in the Connected Insights Web Summit. My name is Varun Malik. I'm the CEO of a consulting firm called Consolidon. Consolidon is a new age consulting firm, new age in that if you would go to a regular consulting firm, you would go to a partner or a director, a large consulting firm, you'd go to a partner or a director and they would call consultants who are full-time employees within their organization to come in and deliver the project, right? So solve a particular problem for a client or help that client take advantage of an opportunity. We follow a different model where we bring the project. So we speak to our clients know us and trust us. So they come to us with a certain problem or a certain opportunity that they want to take advantage of, and they need external support. And we connect them with someone who's an expert in that industry or that function. So that's Consolidon. Last year, was supposed to be a great year, right? 2020, it was the turn of the decade. Everybody had huge hopes for 2020. Obviously, it turned out completely differently for almost everyone. We decided in 2020 that we're going to spend at least 20% of our time. So every consultant in Consolidon spends 20% of their time on alternative projects, which is not our core business. So last year we started a project called the Superheroes Project, where we got about 700 business leaders from all across the GCC to help micro businesses and small businesses get back on track. This year we decided to, because micro businesses, small businesses were the first ones to suffer after the downturn. This year we decided to do something different, which is also help larger organizations speak with subject matter experts like Richa, my colleague from Yes for Us, subject matter experts who will come and talk to them about certain aspects of organizations that need to improve over the next few years, right? Because larger organizations have started facing a little bit of the brunt as well. Today's talk is, I'm going to invite Richa. Richa has been my friend and colleague for the last 2 years. My wife introduced me to Richa, and she's known her for a few years. When Richa came to and spoke with me about the Yes for Us idea, I was absolutely thrilled because it's a great idea, and she'll talk more about it, of course. Just before Richa starts, if that's okay, just look out on your chat. We will be, during the discussion, doing a few giveaways towards the end of the discussion, right? So about 45-50 minutes into the discussion, there will be a couple of giveaways. The first giveaway will be, as part of this web summit where we're doing about 50 plus panel discussions and panel discussions and webinars, we're also doing 6 paid workshops, right? These are workshops that we're, normally selling tickets for about USD 299, 3-hour workshops between 5 to 8 p.m. Dubai time every day. We're giving away 3 tickets in this discussion during this webinar. So all you need to do is fill up a short form and you'll get invited to be a part of that discussion. There is another giveaway. We're inviting people to become speakers in the next version of Connected Summit, the Connected Insights Web Summit, which will be in May. So please look out for those giveaways. We'll start giving them around the 45-50 minute mark in this discussion. So that's about it from me. I'm handing over to Richa. Sorry for taking more time than I promised I would. And enjoy the session, everyone.
Thanks, Varun. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let me share my screen and tell me if you all can see it. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here for this session where we aim to inspire you on thinking innovatively to solve our waste problems. Well, we did a poll with all the participants to, understand better what can you expect out of this session, and we got interesting insights with many of you wanting to know how tips to live sustainably, and most of you, which I'm very happy to report, wanted to know how to be change makers. So hopefully, we will address both these points in our session today and bring some value to you, right? First, a quick intro on Yes for Us. Yes for Us stands for Youth Environmental Sustainability for Us. Today, more responsible towards the environment and be peer influencers. As we started growing, we saw a lot of corporates showing interest, more so because these are the corporates that have realized that we cannot work in isolation if we want to create long-term effects on the environment, and everyone needs to be involved. So we support not only the youth, but corporates by partnering with them to increase their greener footprints. And how do we do this? Or rather, before how we do this, let me give you a short story on myself. I am no expert in environmental sustainability. Rather, I come with about 18, 19 years of research and consulting experience. And one fine day, I was sitting with my daughter and she was busy collecting these newspapers and wasted plastic bottles. And I asked her, "Do you know why you're doing this?" And she said, "No, it's just a school project. We need to give it." And I assumed every peer of ours in the same age has been bombarded with buzzwords like single-use plastic, say no to plastic bags, plastic pollution. But do they really know what our plastic consumption habits are doing to the environment? They may be aware, but at a superficial level. And if we need to make this mindset shift permanent, we need to make them know the ground reality. So we created a unique four-step approach called the Awareness, Solution, Impact, Reward approach, wherein through fun and practical workshops and drives, we take them through issues that our environment is facing, be it plastic, be it climate change, be it how to live zero waste. We give them simple solutions to bring about in daily life, and then they have to show us proof of impact. It's not just theoretical. And if they are impacting the environment, they are rewarded through our reward point system, which can be used for various offers. So the whole idea is to bring about a permanent mind shift. And while we started with the youth, we realized that it needs to go hand in hand with corporates, individual families, and this is what we'll be talking about later in the presentation. But let's go back to the topic now. Uh, all of us are aware that plastic is a big problem, but have we really stopped and thought that what have we really created, in terms of our consumption habits, the problem? Rather, what have we underestimated? So I'm going to ask a quick two questions. Please write your answers in the chat. It should be a one-word answer, and then we'll see how we are faring. Okay, so the first question is, can you name the innovative product created in the last century to beat the unlimited exploitation of ivory for making billiard bottles? Please answer in the chat. Okay, Emma says plastic. Who else? So I repeat the question. Can you name the innovative product created in the last century to beat the exploitation of ivory for making billiard balls? We'll give everyone 10 more seconds. Come on, guys, think out loud. What could it be? Okay, so we've got recycled plastic, we've got pipes, we've got plastic balls, we've got fiber. Okay, so I'll reserve my answer. Okay, we've got phenolinic resin. That's also terms for me, polyester. Okay, so I'll reserve my answer after the next question.
Richa, I think Veenu has raised her hand. Veenu, do you want to unmute and talk?
I'll continue. Can you now name the single most abused innovation of the last century that is threatening to choke the planet we live on? Okay, we've got plastic bottles, multi-layer plastic, single-use plastic. Anyone else? Pet, ET, the human being, wood, polythene bags. Okay, well, sadly, most of you are right with the answer. Um, the answer to both is plastic. We figured out ways of using this amazing product, but never thought about the repercussions this has had on the environment. Let me take you through some brief repercussions or effects of plastic. Okay. So sadly, we all use plastic bottles, we need them, but we never think of what we do after we've used it and after we throw it away. It takes 450 years for a single plastic bottle to get decomposed. You could do the maths yourself and see in a week, in a month, in a year, how many bottles are we sending to the landfills or the oceans. Now, while plastic bottles waste is one of the issues, the other big problem is that only 9% of the disposed plastic bottles ever get recycled. The remaining 91% are jeopardizing our environment, our oceans, our future, our forests. We really need to think about it. Okay, that's done. You would have seen familiar pictures like this, plastic floating on oceans, our dustbins overflowing, marine life stuck in things that should not even be in the oceans. So our plastic consumption has definitely led to plastic pollution. But the fact is, plastic is a good product. I mean, we're not going to eliminate it from our lives completely. The bigger issue that we need to solve right now is single-use plastic. And when I say single-use plastic, what do I mean? We use it for a few minutes and just throw it away. It could be plastic bottles, it could be disposable forks, knives, spoons, plastic covers, plastic grocery bags. We use it for a minute and they're gone. And you never think about it. So we really need to solve the issue of single-use plastics. That is the main culprit here, not plastic. Okay, so now I have taken you through boring old school facts of plastic, but I felt it was important to raise some eyebrows and get you thinking of our plastic consumption habits. But before we get into inspiring stories, let's see how much you know about the effects that our consumption habits have on the environment. So, Kanika, may I request you to start the poll, please?
Yes.
That's the first question. Please just choose the answer you think is right. Do you know how many plastic bottles are used in the world every minute?
We have 10 more seconds. I think most of the people have voted.
Okay, so 48% of you say 20 million, 14% of you say 150,000. Well, the correct answer is 1 million. Yes, 1 million plastic bottles are used in the world every minute. Can we go to the next question, which will show you how many of these plastic bottles are thrown away every second of the day?
Ten more seconds.
you guys have got your cue and you've taken the
I'm
biggest
going to
lead.
end polling.
So the right answer, which 39% of you have said, is 1,500 plastic bottles are thrown away every second. Can we go to the next question? How much plastic ends up in the ocean every year?
5 more seconds.
Okay, so well, most of you are right. 51% of you have given the right answer. 8 to 9 million metric tons of plastic ends up in the ocean. And each one of us has contributed to it significantly. So the whole idea of this was let's start thinking, guys. Can we? So we had three questions on plastic bottles, but the other big culprit, which is plastic bags. Let's get into the next question with that. Do you know how many single-use plastic bags the world uses annually? These are like your grocery bags, which you just use and throw away.
Okay, I'm going to end poll in a second.
Sure. So 38% of you have got it right. 500 billion single-use plastic bags are used annually. And if I come down to our local space in UAE, and the next question is, how many of these single-use plastic bags are used annually in the UAE? If you could have the next question. Yeah. There's one more question after this.
Okay, I'm going to end poll.
So 26% of you have got it right. Sadly, 11 billion plastic bags are used annually just in the UAE. Nothing more to say in that. Next question. And out of those 11 billion, can you imagine how many one person uses in the year in UAE? So Emma, I'm expecting you to have all the right answers. So you're disqualified, right? Please let me-
Okay, I'm going to end poll in a second.
So 29% of you have got it right. 1,184 plastic bags are used by one person in UAE. So the intent of this quiz was, to make all of us sit back and think of our consumption habits and think what we can really do. So one of the expectations from this webinar was on simple tips to live sustainably. So I'll take you through some of our suggestions. You might be aware of some of them, but I'll try to link it to real life situations and what you can do. Okay, the first step is simply being more aware of your consumption habits, right? What are you consuming and where is it ending up? Now, you all must have heard of the 3 R's, which is now actually 5 R's, which starts, that's where your journey starts with refuse. There's refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, rot. But you need to start with refuse. You need to learn to say no. You go to a Starbucks, you go to a McDonald's, you're handed over a cold drink with a plastic straw. Just get your own metal straw. Just refuse the plastic straw. Just refuse the plastic cup. Get your own cup from home. If we refuse it, they will not keep it. If they'll not keep it. It will not be created, and we will reduce the burden on the landfills. The next step is reduce. Think of the things that you really need. Can we live a minimalistic lifestyle? Can we go and buy products with good quality that will last longer? Can we purchase in swap markets sustainable products? So we are creating a circular economy and not just increasing waste in landfills and oceans. Then think of reusing. Can we upcycle the products that we have? Clothes at home, if they become small, can we convert them into something? Or any other, say, these plastic pots we get food into, can we convert them into plants? What can we do? And only when you cannot refuse, reduce, or reuse should you recycle. I mean, recycle is not the solution to our plastic problem, because as I told you, only 9% of it is right now getting recycled. The bigger solution is to learn to refuse, reduce, and reuse. And the last is rot, which is not a part of this session, where you learn how to compost your organic waste. So you need to learn to apply these 5 R's regularly. And learned the concept of BYOs. BYOs means bring your own. Bring your own metal straws, bring your own glass bottles, bring your own glasses. Instead of buying plastic chips that come in these plastic bags, which are another contributor to ocean pollution, can we make our own homemade chips, and take it in our own bags? So start thinking of this. And one thing that you can immediately do is do an audit of your home, do an audit of your kitchen, do an audit of your bathroom. You will be amazed at the amount of plastic lurking there. How can you replace it? Can you replace the plastic toothbrushes with bamboo toothbrushes? Can you replace the plastic disposables in the kitchen with not single-use plastic bags, or steel boxes? So these are just ideas which you need to start thinking to live sustainably. Okay. There was a question. I think someone had raised a hand. Varun, do you have a question?
Richa, there's a question on the chat by Vikas. Is paper better than plastic?
Well, both have their pros and cons. I mean, paper is another menace because we are cutting down trees and, deforestation is happening because of it. So that's another big issue. And, I've heard of stories of how people are, using animal poop to make paper rather than cutting logs of trees out. But plastic seems to be a much bigger problem right now because of the global consumption of plastic, the way it has grown and the amount of time it takes to disintegrate. So it is a bigger problem. I would not say that a solution to a plastic bag is to take a paper bag, but it's a much better solution. I would rather say take a cloth bag, but which is made at home. So like I'll show you later, we teach our children how to make cloth bags out of old t-shirts. So you are recirculating things in the environment rather than using new products. But plastic is the bigger culprit. So I hope I've answered your question, Vikas. Okay. So till now, we've all understood that plastic is a big problem. And we have been really selfish in depleting our natural environments, right? But, people being inquisitive in nature all across the globe have figured out ways to make trash into treasure, as well as make business opportunities out of it. Let me show you a few examples first of people, of small entrepreneurs across the globe who are doing innovative stuff. And here I've taken examples of plastic and other waste to just open your minds that any kind of waste is treasure and it can be innovated. So for example, Marina has been diverting fishing nets that just land up in the ocean and making swimwear out of it, you know. Similarly, Lorna has been using plastic waste to create lumber and saving a lot of forests in the process. Felix has been using discarded chopsticks, which you get all across the restaurants, and making smart, furniture out of it, shelves out of it, to reduce pollution in the landfill. So the intent here is for you to go back to your drawing boards and think, what can we do with one, our consumption habits, two, that waste that already exists, how can we innovate with it, create business opportunities with it, and at the same time reduce landfill and marine pollution. Okay, well, you all might say that, okay, might be in the cup of tea of some few genius folks who can innovate. Well, not really. The videos that I'm going to show you now, there'll be 3 videos, are actually of people from very simple, humble, non-experienced backgrounds who have actually taken either plastic waste or waste and created sustainable business opportunities out of it. And if they can do it, so can we all. So we'll start with the first video. Just raise your hands in the chat if you can hear it. Yeah, so this is about a young guy from UAE who has taken his love for shoes to another level by making vegan sneakers. He uses 15 plastic bags and 22 plastic bottles in each pair of shoes that he creates. Not only do they look good and are economical, they will save a few bucks when you go to buy branded shoes, and you will be contributing to the environment. Rohan, you have a question before I start the video? Okay, sure.
My name is Matteo Boffa. I'm from Switzerland. I decided to give a more mindful goal to my life and embrace environmental and sustainability project. I was able to meet a really young entrepreneur during a startup competition where I was one of the judges. This young guy won with an amazing product. He made shoes out of plastic bags, grocery plastic bags. I'm investing him in terms of money, times, energy, and support. I believe with my support and my experience in the field of startups, he will achieve amazing goals. For me, this is just the beginning of a great adventure in sustainability. I'm sure that I can give more and do more, but I'm really determined and I'm really happy to do what I'm doing.
Okay, so let's go to our next. This is about a sailboat that has been made from recycled plastic, which includes plastic bottles, plastic caps, as well as flip-flops, which we just discard after use. And let's see the video before I talk more on it.
Human being is destroying the world. And people are not realizing this. We don't love our world. But by just focusing on the short-term vision, people are just looking at the money today, and they don't think of what is coming next.
The end goal is to live in a world without single-use plastic. Right now we're imagining it, and we're imagining what it can be like. The boat is very much just a vessel to reach that target. What we've done so far is give plastic a second life. What we need to do is end single-use plastic.
One thing that we completely underestimated was just how powerful an engagement tool it's been. Everywhere we've gone, we've actually had tangible results from our expedition. We brought together the background conditions for change to happen.
So this boat is actually sailing through the seas of Kenya and spreading the message that plastic pollution can be reduced. The last video, I've chosen a non-plastic example just to show you that, any kind of waste can be innovated. And especially in this pandemic time when, we don't even think about the discarded masks that are everywhere. We use them and throw it. We do not realize how much waste we've created in the last 1 year. This guy, who's called the Recycle Man of India, has actually converted these discarded masks into bricks. And not only are they economical, um, they just will create significant opportunities in the construction world. So let's see what he's doing. Okay, so while I hope that these videos have inspired you, let us know in the chat what you felt. Did you like it? What were the takeaways? And I know that many of you might be thinking that, okay, this all looks good to watch and hear, but can we simple individuals really make change? Well, we at Yes For Us got a chance to think, stop and think. And we are trying to create change at a small level. We'll tell you what we are doing, and hopefully it will further inspire you to think. So we work with youth at 3 levels, through our fun workshops, through widespread community drives, and innovative design competitions. Let us take you through each of them and what we do. So you all may be aware that the United Nations has 17 sustainability development goals, which most of the countries in the globe are looking forward to achieve by 2030. Yes For Us focuses on 6 of these 7 sustainability goals, and we link each of our workshop to these 6 goals. For example, if you take SDG number 6, which focuses on clean water and sanitization, we've actually done innovative sessions with children on how you can use a concept called as biomimicry, where you design nature-inspired sustainable living solutions to reduce the issue of water scarcity. In fact, we have Sanvi here who had created an interesting solution, after hearing this workshop on what we can do to reduce water scarcity. So Sanvi, would you like to tell in the chat what that idea of yours was? The whole intent is to make youth's mind open up to sustainable businesses. So I will show you an example of how we create impact with a topic relevant for today's webinar through our Alternate to Plastics workshop. We tell children, we teach children how to use old t-shirts to make cloth bags. We teach children not to throw away their old crayons, but let's make candles out of it. We tell them not to throw their plastic bottles at home, but make gift items or, pencil cases out of it. And not only them, but their families are encouraged to use more biodegradable disposables, because especially in UAE, the waste from disposables is huge. So, bamboo disposables are related, which will disintegrate very quickly into the environment rather than the plastic ones, which will just stay in the landfills. And once the youth show us proof of their impact, we give them reward points. And then these reward points are redeemed for a lot of fun offers on classes for youth, or buying sustainable products at a discount. So that's the whole idea of these workshops. Second concept of ours is our community drives, where we launched this last year, Q4 of 2020, wherein we encouraged youth to be yes ambassadors, and the role was to be peer influencers, take old t-shirts from their peers and convert them into cloth bags. So with the result that 300 children participated in this, and we saved 300 single-use plastic bags from getting into our ecosystem. Let's show you how we did it. Before I go back to the next step, so we are so proud of this simple initiative that, our phones are not stopping from youth and parents coming to say, we want our youth to be yes ambassadors. And it doesn't only involve the youth. Their parents are involved in collecting old t-shirts. They have a target, each child, that I need so many t-shirts. I need to convert them into cloth bags. And we've taught them a simple way of just using the scissors in their hands and make them into cloth bags and give it back to their friends. It's just these simple things we really need to do to reduce, the single-use plastics getting into the landfill and ocean. And the third initiative that we had launched is with slightly elder kids in the range of, say, 12 plus to 18-year-olds, wherein, we give them a real-life situation or a problem, and they have to innovate or come up with innovative products. So the problem over here was, if you're familiar with Sheikh Zayed Road in Dubai, you will see these big billboards with advertisements. Now, all these billboards are made of PVC, which is a plastic material. And within a few days, these billboards are brought down and just discarded. So research says that over 1 million square meters of PVC is produced in Dubai every year. And 500,000 kg of this PVC material is destroyed yearly. Just imagine the amount of mammoth waste we send to the landfills. So we told our youth, imagine that you have the PVC wasted materials with you. What can you create to reduce the problem of single-use plastic, or reduce the problem of plastic rather? And you will see the images that you see of kids who came up with such brilliant ideas that let's convert them into tents, because this is the desert. People do a lot of camping. This kid below suggested let's convert it into plastic writing paper, and he actually showed it to us, and it works. And the winner was supposed to be someone whose idea would be practical, which the masses could use and would not be expensive, and widely accepted. So the winner of this was a guy who suggested making laundry bags for homes. And we actually converted the Nescafe billboard ad into a laundry bag and made his dream a reality. This was done with support of our expert. And the whole idea was to make youth encouraged to think of sustainable businesses, and how can you link this to the corporate world? You'll have a lot of sustainable businesses around you, say hotels, or you would just imagine if all of them started making such sustainable, innovative products as reusing material to make the laundry bags in your hotel rooms, reusing how to give the small packs of toothpaste, soap, and toothbrushes to you. If everyone contributes here, how much waste can be saved from going to the environment? So these were some ideas to tell you that we are making small changes, and so can you. And then the next poll result, which we got from our audience where they were interested, was to be, how can we be change makers? How can we enable change? Well, we can give you some tips and ideas, and happy to take this session later. Especially in UAE or even in the globe, there will be a lot of green corporates trying to make a lot of initiatives at a corporate level. But we actually did a survey with their employees, and we found out that the thought process of the corporates did not sink in with the thought process of their employees or family. And we cannot expect a circular economy if we don't have everyone involved. So there has to be a 360-degree initiative to not only make greener corporates, to make greener societies, to make greener environments. And how do we do this? Step one is involving the corporates, their employees, and their families on learning to live sustainably. Evolving with them, creating awareness in a fun way of what the issues are and how we can solve them. And then we work with these corporates and their employees to create impact to ensure we are increasing our greener footprints. So if you would, I'll be happy to have a session with you later on. If you would like to know how can living sustainably or thinking of innovation not only help you benefit the environment, not only help you innovate with technological breakthroughs, but also make those businesses profitable. So with this, I leave the floor open for discussion. And if you want to contact us for any one-on-one sessions later, any advice or any discussions, we are happy to do that. Thank you. And if anyone wants to say something in the chat or raise their hand to speak up, hope you found this session useful. Let us know.
Okay, are we doing the group photo now or not yet?
Sure. I was just
a lot of them have some questions. So if anyone's open to ask questions, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and ask.
Thanks, Mani. Now I'm seeing all the chats.
I think while people are putting together their questions, if everyone can please switch on their video, we'll just do one photo quickly of all of us together, and maybe Richa, you can unshare your screen if that's all right.
Sure.
Great, thank you everyone for that. We'll just take it in a minute. We'll give everyone a couple of minutes to fix their hair and get their smiling face out. Okay, everyone ready? Should I start off? Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds, no problem.
Everyone,
okay,
Yeah.
Kanika, you're ready? Because I've joined from the phone, so I can't take this.
I'll click. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, webinar. And we should do another one. 1, 2, 3, sustainability.
I was going to say, let's say green.
1, 2, 3, green. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, we're still here. So
please feel free to raise your hands to speak.
So Richa, I have a question. Rohan this side.
Sure, Rohan.
this is a great cause, and I'm sure you're doing a great job. What keeps you motivated to pursue this? Because I'm sure it's for a larger cause, and it's not a business on the face of it. So, what keeps you motivated to continue this? Because it's a very important subject, wherein you are helping the mankind and this planet. But what keeps you motivated is something I really want to understand. Because all of us think to bring that change, we think about it, we do some small stuff, and we leave it. So what keeps you motivated?
Thank you, Rohan. So I'm honored you think like that. Frankly speaking, what hit me is that, our generation has not done much for the planet. And if we want the future of our youth to be better, we need to give them a fair chance. Our youth still can. And they need the support from all of us to make this happen. And again, as you said, from the face of it, while we started off, the intent of Yes for Us was not a money-making initiative. But as and all we are growing, I want to encourage people to think that sustainability can also be profitable. I mean, the future is about sustainability. In every corporate aspect, in every individual life, we all can think of how to live sustainably, whether we do it charitably, whether we do it profitably. We need to create impact. And when I want to make sure that I leave a better future for my kids or for all the youth I'm associated with, and the number of sessions I've had with youth and the smiles that I see on their face, or the energy that I see with which they try to build change, believe me, they can give a lot of pressure to the adults and will make sure that change will happen. So they are the real change makers. And if I can instigate that, I've lived a good life. So hope with that I inspire all of you as well.
Absolutely great answer, Richa. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Risha, may I add something? I really enjoyed your presentation, and it was amazing to see all the repurposing and reusing examples, which I think is so important. One of the messages that we give out at D-Grade is that whilst of course we must absolutely reduce the amount of plastic we're consuming, and not just plastic, but anything that's single use. Even if you buy cheap fashion and wear a t-shirt once and throw it away, that's not great either. So, but one of the things that we talk about a lot is personal responsibility, because actually it's not the fault of the plastic that it's been thrown away. Scientific peer-reviewed analysis shows that in almost all cases, plastic is almost always the greenest option, much greener than glass, aluminium, paper, just for a number of different reasons. And a great example we give is that when you go, we do many cleanups, beach cleanups, desert cleanups, and what we find is that two things. Firstly, we never find money. Nobody in our group has ever picked up a 10 dirham note or a 50-pound note or anything like that, because money is made from plastic. Money has a value. It's made from plastic, but it doesn't get thrown away because it has a value. And what people have got to understand is that plastic is not waste, it's a resource. It can be recycled many times, and it can be turned into something new. It can go back into being another bucket, into another bag, or as we do in D-Grade, into textiles. It can be reused, and it has a value. So I think that we have to all become personally responsible. We're throwing these things away, and Risha's absolutely right. Only a very small percentage of plastic is being recycled, and it's because the segregation and collection is so hard, because people are not segregating. They're not making the effort to put their plastic in the right bin, to make sure that their recyclables are being recycled. People think once it's thrown away, it doesn't matter, it's not their responsibility, but it 100% is, and we have to take personal responsibility. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. Absolutely. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts? So I guess we're good. So thank you, everyone. I hope our session has inspired you. Please go back to your drawing boards. This is not rocket science, simple steps in everyday daily life, and we can change this world, and we all can be change makers. Happy to connect offline to take this to the next level. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, mom. Thank you.
Bye, Santi. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.